wants to volunteer for the first one? Dinner at a restaurant. All right, young man, go. Expense. Very good. Very good. All right, you got your lunch. All right, through there. All right, how about a paycheck? Who's going to take that? Go. All right, very good. Very good. Okay, good. How about number 3? Okay. Oh, you go. Okay, go ahead, young man. This is a $20 that you owe to a friend.
Liability.
All right, good. Very good. Very good. A cell phone bill paid. A cell phone bill paid. Who's going to volunteer? Over here? Yes. It's an expense. Way to go. All right. All right. Your CD collection. There you go. Okay, good. Very good. Ah, this is a good one. An income tax refund. Yes.
Revenue.
All right. Very good. Okay, very good. How about a savings account balance? Savings account balance. What do you think, young lady? Very good. Pick up. There you go. All right. Yeah, you guys are doing well. Okay. How about the purchase of a retail? Here you go. Okay. Very good. Credit card debt. Credit card debt. Go.
Liability.
Liability. Okay. You remember current liability or long term? Usually you have to pay them what? Yeah, you got to pay them right away. Very good. Very good. A U.S. savings bond. Okay, U.S. savings bond. Go.
Is that an asset?
That's an asset. It better be, right?
Yeah.
As long as the government stays open, right, and we respect our liabilities, right, our debts, right? But yes, you're right. All right. And how about a college loan balance? Unfortunately, that's something probably all going to have. Yes.
Liability.
That's a liability, right? That's a liability. Long term or short term? Excellent. Excellent. All right, you guys did a good job.
Excellent job on that.
Yeah.
You're all closet accountants.
I think so.
I need that,
Yeah.
thank you
Yeah,
for
be
work.
real careful with that, yeah.
That's great. Professor Lordi's the candy man. My prizes aren't candy. I'm cleaning out my office, so you don't know what you're going to get.
Get some chalk.
Okay, yeah. All right, a term Professor Lordi used earlier, budget. It's really a key element to be a successful sort of money manager. It's usually a monthly, and we used this term before. Anyone want to venture a guess of what the missing word here? When you sort of think ahead, starts with a P, monthly.
I think she said over here.
What you get, young lady? You're on a roll. Playing?
Yeah.
How about that? You like football? There's Widener, okay? There you go. All right, I like football. Yeah, it is a monthly plan. Now here's a good question. It is plan. You got to think ahead, gang. Now one of the things, I teach a freshman seminar on financial literacy. And you'll love this little example I always use. I have my students, they did a budget for the month of October, where they were going to spend their money and where they were expecting to get their money. It was a budget. Okay, so one of the categories a young man set up for his budget was entertainment. Movies, bowling, or something. And this young man budgeted $25 for the month of October. Now what I require my freshman seminar to do is during the month of October, now they budgeted this in September, they had to think ahead, remember our plan, is they had to track all their expenses for the month of October. They had to keep receipts, write them down, just for 1 month, just where all their money went, okay? And they have to show me at the end of the month what the actual results were. Well, this young man reported on his, budget that he actually spent $100. He was honest, even though he budgeted $25. Now, what I required him to do is just give me some explanation. What happened? Remember Professor Lordi talked about variable and fixed expenses? What do you think entertainment is? Do you have some discretion over entertainment? It's variable, very good, young man. Do you have some discretion? But I love this young man's explanation. Here's why he spent $75 more than he budgeted. Acquired new girlfriend, expensive investment. And I can relate to that, right? Thought that was a legitimate explanation. But the point is, he was at least thinking ahead as to where his money was going to go. And he had a lot more outflows in the future, I'm sure. Who can tell me, what do you think the first bill is you should pay each month?
Rent.
What's the first bill you should pay each month? What do you think, young lady? I know you were ready to answer something earlier.
Yeah, I don't.
Sorry, what do you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say your mortgage or your
That's very good. Mortgage, what was the other one?
like your mortgage or rent, whatever you're.
Okay, where you're living. That's a good answer. You like Frisbees?
Sure.
This is an accounting firm, Frisbee, okay? Look at that. All right. That's a good one. Anyone else? Mortgage, rent? All very good thoughts, okay? Some people say their credit cards. It's another possible thought. Their phone bill, their cell phone, they can't have that turned off, right? But actually, the best answer is yourself. But you don't think of yourself as a bill. But what do I mean by that? What do I really mean when I say pay yourself first? Food. You sound like my son, okay? Food, okay?
I agree.
I can understand. Actually, you know what I mean is, I like that though, food.
Like, set some money aside for yourself.
Yeah, put it in a savings account. Then you can use it for food though if you want, okay? But put it in a savings account. Sort of look at yourself as, hey, I'm as important really as anything. I've got to get in the habit of putting money away, even if it's a small amount, okay? Now, the other thing you could say though is, if you do have high interest credit card debt, then I could say you better pay that first. Now, Professor Lordi, can you tell us what the average rate is
Yeah,
on
what's
for
interesting
credit
is
card
the average credit card interest is probably about 14.65%, okay? Now, when you go to make a minimum payment, usually it's about 3% of the bill, something along those lines. And studies have shown that students have, on average in the United States, about $3,000 in credit on their credit card. And between the ages of 18 and 24, about 40% of them only make the minimum payment. Do you know how long it would take to pay off $3,000 if you only made the minimum payment, given the interest rate's about 14.65%? Anybody have any idea how long it would take? It would take you 10 years and 11 months to do that. 10 years. So that's a trap. You've got to be very careful of minimum payment. Very careful.
And 14 point whatever percent isn't even the highest. That's an average. Credit card rates can be even much higher than that. They might give you a nice introductory rate, but it generally goes up after time. So you don't really want to carry any balances on credit cards.
Eddie Bauer's is 22.99%. You can imagine. Credit card rate. That's a big hit.
Now, this is just a rule of thumb. If you were going to divvy your money up into different pots at this level, 1/3 goes to savings. We're going to see in a minute the difference between savings and investing. 1/3 goes to investing. What's left for spending? Mathematically, it has to be 1/3. Very good. You like ping pong? Here's a nice ping pong. All right. You never know what I'm going to find in that office. I think it works. All right, very good. Let's go on to the next page. Savings versus investing. I want you to read those two items and tell me which do you think describes the word savings, which do you think describes the word investing. Once you get one of them right, you got the other one. Okay? Which one describes the word savings, which one describes the word investing? Because technically there's a subtle difference. Okay? Let's see what we got left in here. Anybody that didn't have a chance to answer and want to get one of these lovely prizes? Young lady, you look like you're ready to gather a prize here, aren't you? What do you think about the money set aside for special purposes, emergencies, or birthdays, things like that? What do you think? Let's see if that's it. What do we have in here? That's a high-quality county water bottle. Very good. I guess that takes all the guesswork out of what's the next one. Yeah, but notice the difference. Short-term, sort of immediate needs is savings, but when we're thinking long-term, retirement, even when you graduate from college, you might want to buy that car. put a down payment on a house, that's more the invested side. Very good, you guys are doing well. All right, interest and finance charges. Those terms are used interchangeably. Professor Lord, I touched upon the word interest. If you have a savings account, you're going to earn interest. If you have something called a certificate of deposit, you've heard of CDs, not the kind of where you play music and you're pulsating and everything, okay? It's just CDs you might get at a bank, and then bonds. Interest is a good thing if you're earning it. But when you borrow money, you also have to pay interest. Sometimes credit card companies call that finance charges. But what I want everybody to know, and this is where your calculator will come in handy. I didn't want you to use your cell phone calculators and be tempted to check your text messages or whatever, okay? So I gave you these calculators here. If I had to say what's one fundamental calculation everybody should know how to do, and it should be how to calculate interest. You only need 3 pieces of information, okay? You need the amount you saved or the amount you borrowed. That's called principal. P is what principal stands for. You need to know the interest rate. The interest rate is always an annual rate. APR is sometimes the expression you'll hear, annual percentage rate. I always write that in decimals, so like 5% I would write 0.05. And time, interest is a function of time. If, say, 6 months went by, everything is based on a fraction of a year. That T would be 6/12. If 3 months went by, it'd be 3/12. If 12 months went by, it'd be 12/12, which would be 1, okay? So it isn't actually all that complicated. So let's see if we can do this little example. Assume the amount saved was $600. The interest rate was 6%. You kept the money in the bank for 6 months. Who can tell me what's the P here? 600. Good. What's the interest rate? And I write it in decimals or put it in your calculator. Put 600 in your calculator times, let's try 0.06. And how much time went by? 6/12, which is the same as 1/2. Tell me what that should come out to. How much interest will you get after that 6-month period? Anyone come up with that? Feel confident? Yeah. $18? Let's check it. Good. It's not that hard to calculate, was it? As long as you have the right variables, right? Very easy. Calculate. Now that's if you save money. Guess what? You use the same formula if you borrow money. We're going to look at that one in a moment. But remember, credit card companies, they don't always use the word interest. We're charging you interest. They say we're assessing a finance charge, which really is the equivalent of interest. Now, I think you all probably know this. If you pay off your credit card bill in its entirety, when you get the bill, they give you a little grace period. There will be no finance charges. That's great. That's because no time has gone by. They give you that grace period as, hey, we're not going to count that against you. If you pay it all within 30 days, we consider no time has gone by. That's why there's no finance charges. All right, let's try this example. See if you can plug the numbers in. If you charge $500, that's your P. Look at that interest rate now, 18%. And tell me after 1 month, don't worry about the $10 payment yet. If the P is 500, take the interest rate as 0.18 and take the time as 1 month, 1/12. What do you come up with as the finance charge? $7.50. Beautiful. Now look, you made a payment of $10, right? Now most people who don't have much background in this area think, well, if I make a payment of $10, my balance should go down by $10. Not if there's a finance charge of $7.50. Look what will happen. And very good. This times this times this. You took 500, you subtracted the 10 that you paid, but you have 750. Your balance only went down $2.50. That's why, Professor Lordi, I said earlier, you never pay the minimum balance. You didn't lower it by $10, you only lowered it by $2.50 because of the finance charges. That's really the danger of using credit cards, and not paying those balances off, or just paying the minimum. Okay? All right, this is, I'm gonna see where we are. There's no calculations on this particular page, but I just wanted to show you how your money works for you. The concept of compounding is when your interest earns interest. Suppose you had a CD where you put $10,000, you were able to earn 6%. Here's how much interest after 1 month. Well, guess what? You don't have to put any more money in. This $10,000 now, the $50 that you earn, that's going to be the number you start with next month. See how you're using a higher number because of the interest that you earned? The interest is starting to earn interest. That's the beauty of compounding. You didn't have to put any more money into the CD. It's building because it's earning interest. All right? And when you do all this, guess what? It said we were earning 6%. Because of the compounding, when you do all the calculations, you're actually doing better than 6%. And that may not look like a lot to you, but it is in the money world. 6% versus 6.2 is a big deal. All right. This is just to show you how fast your money can build. If you put $1,000 away once, and forget about it, once, just one time, you put it away, and you can get 8%, let's say, in the stock market. Look how much you're going to have after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. This is putting it away one time and just forgetting about it. What if you can put it away every year? That's less than $100 a month. Look how quickly that money accumulates. That's the power of compounding. But you got to be disciplined, right, to do that. One great way to do it is have your employer take it out of your pay so you never see it and put it into an account for you. Okay, and let it compound over time and it will grow. All right, last thing I want to show you is something before we do a little exercise called the Rule of 72. Everybody tends to ask this question as a money manager. Everyone knows, all right, how long, if I put this money into an investment, how long will it take for my money to double? All you have to do is take 72 in the numerator and divide it by the interest rate without putting the interest rate in decimals, just using the number. So if you have 4% that you can earn, Rule of 72 would say 72 divided by 4, it would take you 18 years to double your money. All right? All right, let's see if you can take a quick shot at answering these questions real quick. And then we'll go over them. I'm not sure we're going to have time for a game, Frank, but we got a little late start. But
That's
best of your ability. Most of these we covered. I didn't cover the first one, but I'm sure somebody has a $20 bill they could look at. I don't. This was just to have a little fun. All right, we're going to give you one more minute on that. It's the next exercise with the matches, and I really want you to spend time on it. This second one is the P times R times T, but I made life simple by saying 12 months. So 12 over 12 is your time. Anybody know who's on a $20 bill? What president?
Jefferson.
I think it's the president with?
Jefferson.
Jefferson?
I think.
You don't have enough 20s. Good guess, though. It's not Jefferson.
Oh, wait, that was Jackson.
It did start with a J, though. Yeah, Jackson. I went, Jackson it is. I'm running out of good prizes here, young man. I'm sure you wouldn't mind having a ruler
Yeah, I need one.
from Global Tax Management, okay? All right, how about this? Anybody figure out how much interest? What'd you get, young lady? 24, I'm impressed. How'd you do that?
600 0.04 times 1.
Do you play golf? That's a good sport. Here. And here's something for you, potato chips, so you don't get stale.
You sure you want to clean out your garage?
$24, good. Excellent, 600, you did it. How about, how long will it take to double your money if you're going to earn 6%? Go.
12 years.
How'd you get that?
72 divided by 6.
Boy, you're trained well. 72 divided by 6. Sorry. This guy got all the candy too. But here's a high quality highlighter. All right.
There you go.
Already it's disinfected and everything. All right. How about what's the first bill you should pay each month?
Yourself,
And what's that mean?
put money aside for yourself for like going out somewhere.
Very good.
Or for food, right?
I like it. They must be making
I'm
that.
sorry. I'm teasing you, Emily. I'm learning out of decent prizes here. I'm not even sure what this is. I think it's legal. All right, and we already answered that. And this is just a general idea. I'm sure we all, is it better to start investing when you're young, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, you should start when you're young.
Why? What was the concept we learned about interest earning interest?
It'll keep going up and up and up.
And that's called compounding. And the other thing you need to remember, when you're young, you can take more risk because you've got a lot of years to make it up. I would advise you as college students differently than I would advise my 90-year-old grandmother about investing. She doesn't have a lot of time, but you do. So compounding and diversification is good. All right, quickly see if you can find the term that applies to the, find the definition that applies to the term. Oh, thank you. Isn't that old? Yep. You won't need the calculators anymore. We might have time for one round, right? We'll see. I'm so excited, you know? Believe it or not, in the short time we were here, you learned all these concepts. I'm hoping you can match the concept with the word. And we'll just do it for the fun of participating. I'm going to go down the term and you tell me the letter. Let's start with savings. Anybody have savings? What do you got there for savings, Johnny? See, money set aside for special occasions? Oh, jeez. I did it the other way. Right. I forgot which way I did it. That's great, Amy. You're going to have some film, okay? I'm sorry. All right, A is budget. Tell me where B goes. You are an owner of the company when you buy this. Where does B
Over
go?
here. Somebody over here.
Stop.
Owner of a company, we buy the stocks? Let's see, that's right. Beautiful. Now we got it. Okay. How about money set aside for special occasions? That was your savings. There we go. Instead of interest, stocks pay you this. Instead of interest, stocks pay you this. Dividend. You guys are good. The bank pays you this when you leave money in a savings account. When you leave money in a savings account, what's the bank pay you? They do pay you interest. Good. Money set aside for college or retirement.
Invest.
College or retirement? Anyone?
Invest.
Very good. Investing it is. F. When the interest you earn also earns interest. Interest earning interest was? Compounding. Good. Used to find out how long it will take to double your money. Rule of 72, you're beautiful. And then the last one is your creditor is bonds. Okay, you've been a great audience. I wish we would have time to play the one more game, but I hope you got something out of it. At least you got some lousy prizes if nothing else, right? Any final questions? If you're interested in this topic, every spring, once you become a junior, we have a financial literacy course you can take as an elective. It runs every spring, but you got to be a junior. All right? You really get some life skill, information in that course. And Professor Lordi has the instructor. He's got lots of candy. All right, thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.